welcome back to my channel. I'm back this week with another video for you guys. But today we're going to be speaking about my top 3 favorite affordable eyeshadow palettes. So I'm just going to be giving you guys a rundown of the 3 palettes that I love the most that are affordable so that you guys can try them out and see how you like them. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. But if you're not a part of the BADGal family yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. And yeah, let's get into my top 3 favorite affordable eyeshadow palettes. Alright guys, so the first palette that I'm going to be talking about is the Morphe 3502 palette. It comes in this packaging right here. They recently changed the packaging for the 3502. Now it is a little more sleek and it is actually a hard plastic, not this material. But I got this right when it came out, so I still have it in the old packaging. But if you have not seen this palette before, you can always go to Ulta and take a look at it. I know they have it there on display with the new packaging. This is $23 and it has 35 eyeshadows. When you open up this palette, it has a little film that has all the names of the shades. With their new packaging, it is the same thing. It still has the same film with all the names. I still like to keep this because when I do tutorials with this palette, it is very helpful to have names. And this is what the palette looks like. If you like warm palettes, this is the palette for you. I know not everyone is into warm tones, but I love warm tones, and that is why I love this palette so much. I know Morphe has other cool tone palettes, but I haven't tried them before. I always stick to their warm tones, and I don't know, I feel like this is the best warm tone eyeshadow palette like ever. It has literally everything you need to create so many warm looks, and some of my favorite shades are these red shades right here, these two. They are so gorgeous, so pigmented. I just like that every single shade is very pigmented and blends well, and that is what I look for in an eyeshadow palette. I want pigmentation, I want blendability, and I just want the colors to be easy to use as well. And I feel like this palette is just awesome for experts in makeup and also beginners because there are so many things you can do. If you want to see a more in-depth look at this palette, I do have a video showing you guys at this palette. It is from a couple of months ago. I will leave the tab at the top of the screen so that you guys can go watch it if you're interested in knowing more about this palette. But I don't know, I just love this palette, and I feel like for $23 it is amazing, and I just feel like you cannot go wrong with Morphe palettes. I've never had a palette that doesn't work for me from Morphe. Yeah, I love this palette and you should definitely check it out. So now the second palette that we're going to be talking about, I'm pretty sure you guys are not going to be surprised. It is the BH Cosmetics x Carly Bible Deluxe Edition palette. This has 21 colors, and overall it has 15 eyeshadows and 6 highlighters. And I'm just going to take it out of the packaging so that you guys can see the inside, but I feel like this palette is the perfect everyday palette. I believe this is $23 at the moment. I know right now this will get discontinued, but you can still purchase it at Ulta. I went to Ulta a couple of days back and they still had it in stock. But if you've been wanting to get this palette, you should get it literally right now, because as soon as they sell out, they're never bringing it back, which is super sad because I feel like this is my favorite palette ever. Like, the highlighters in this palette are the best highlighters ever. I mean, these 2 top shades, they're larger shades. These 2 guys are the best highlighters I have tried to date. And the good thing about these highlighters is that they come in a palette where you also have a lot of really nice high quality eyeshadows. I also have a review on this palette, so if you're interested in that, I will tap it at the top of the screen as well, where I show you just the swatches of everything in here and the price and all that stuff in detail. This palette is just amazing. It is just super affordable. It looks super nice and fancy. The only thing that I don't like about this palette is that the shades don't have names, but that doesn't really affect anyone in any shape, way, or form. I mean, they blend amazingly. They're super pigmented, and the shimmer shades are just beautiful. Even in the eyeshadows, the shimmer shades are just amazing. I feel like they're very unique colors, but at the same time, they're very wearable. I feel like everybody can wear them, and you can go from daytime looks to nighttime looks, and it is just so easy to use. And I feel like people from every skin tone can also use this palette. Even with the highlighters, they have very fair highlighters and very deep highlighters, and you can also use the highlighters as eyeshadow if they don't work for your skin tone, which is really nice. Like, it is just so gorgeous, and you get so much for your money. And yeah, I just love this palette so much, and I highly recommend it to you guys. Alright guys, so the third palette that we're gonna be talking about is a very famous palette, and I am pretty sure you guys have all seen a lot of reviews on this palette, a lot of makeup looks on this palette. It came out last summer and I feel like it was the palette of the year last year, and that is the Morphe times Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette. This one right here. Now this is just a Jaclyn Hill palette. It has 35 eyeshadow colors, and on the back of this one you do get shade names and all the shades that you will be getting in the palette. All of the palettes that I have mentioned today you can find at Ulta so that you can swatch them and see if you like them before purchasing them as well, which is really nice. And this palette is hands down one of the most beautiful palettes that I've ever seen. Like, look at this. Like, it is just so perfect. You have your warm tones, you have your highlighting shades, you have an amazing black, you have transition shades as well as darker shades to deepen up the crease with different undertones so that you can create a lot of looks. And then you have these teal colors, the green, the purple, the blue, you have a yellow, you have just so many options with this palette. I mean, of course, if you like the colors, this will be the only palette that you'll need, but I do notice that this doesn't have that many cool tone shades, and of course I know Jaclyn Hill is not really into cool tone shades, so I wasn't really expecting her to put cool tone shades in this palette. But if you do like cool tone eyeshadows, this palette you won't really like. But I feel like if you like neutral eyeshadows or even warm eyeshadows, or you want an eyeshadow palette that you can use for any occasion, this is the palette for you, especially because it has some really nice pops of color. I feel like this palette is amazing for beginners, for experts at makeup, and pretty much for everyone. Every single shade blends amazingly. Every single shade is super pigmented. Every single shade is just the best it could be. And even the blue shades, the purple shades, the green shades, they are very well formulated, so you won't get a lot of fallout. They won't be patchy, and it's just an amazing, well thought of palette. And I can tell there was a lot of thought put into this palette, and just the formula, the packaging, the colors is right up my alley. So I definitely recommend this palette to you guys, along with the other two palettes that I've talked to you about. And I don't know, I feel like with any of these three palettes you are getting a lot of bang for your buck, and I know they are above $20, but I know a lot of other eyeshadow palettes are like $40, $50, $60, so having eyeshadow palettes that are affordable is really nice, and I just wanted to share my favorite ones with you guys. Yeah, I feel like that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave and hit that like button before you leave, and I will see you on my next video. Bye guys.